So this is an iPhone camera test to see who's best. Is it 7? Is it 6S? Is it 7? Is it 6S? Which one is which?
Hi guys, it's Simon from Tech My Life Video. Now before we get started, make sure you're watching this video in 1080p so you're getting the best clarity possible so you can really see the difference between these two cameras. We're looking at the iPhone 6S and the iPhone 7. Now how much better is the 7 and really how good is it? How good is its low light performance? Let's look at some side-by-side video and photos and find out.
So here's a clip outside. I'll let you guess which footage is which if you want to pause the video and comment below, or you can sneakily do it afterwards. I think it should be fairly obvious as this film progresses that it is the iPhone 7 on the left and the iPhone 6 on the right. A lot more move and shake and wobble in the 6S because it doesn't have that optical image stabilization, and a lot more clarity in the iPhone 7 picture. Here we are, same kind of area in my yard, but quite dark. The 6S on the right shows you just how dark it was. So there's a lot of noise in the image, and again that movement of the camera. But the 7, you can see just how much more light the 7 camera lets in. The last one here is running back in the other direction, so a light jog. You can see a lot of bounce in the 6S on the right hand side. The 7, obviously there is movement, but a lot smoother and just a much better picture. Obviously not an ideal picture, but a picture nonetheless. So one more here, look at the iPhone 7 footage. You'll actually see the exposure or white balance actually change just there. You see it now here, this is it back and forth, where it changes quite dramatically, and that's not a really great thing, but it's probably a software issue that they can fix. So now we'll take a look at a series of photographs. Now it's the 7 on the left and the 6S on the right, and you can see the clarity in the carpet. The fibers are much more defined, but the colors are, well, they're darker. They look very different, and this is just two side-by-side photographs. Now we'll switch to a top and bottom view. 7 on top, 6S on the right. Now this will repeat through all these photographs. You can see the fibers on the couch are much more defined, but those colors are quite different. They're not as vivid and bright. And with some bright colors, it seems that the 6S actually might be maybe more accurate. It's a little bit hard to tell at this stage. Now here's a low light photograph. And the 7 is definitely a big winner here in terms of the reduction in noise. Now we move to the top bottom view, and you can see the grey strip on the right hand side of the photograph. At the top is the 7, at the bottom is the 6S, and you can see that noise creeping in the darkness. Now here with the helmet, we've actually got more accurate colours on that bright orange on the helmet is actually more accurate on the 6S. Now if you need to stop these photographs and have a bit of a closer look, do that. I've gone through them fairly quickly. Don't want to have this video take forever, but those colours are more accurate on the 6S. Now here you've got a brighter, more vivid photograph with the 6S, but with the 7 you've got more accuracy, you've got more definition, less blurring of the image. So it's a bit of give and take with the two cameras. But again, it is probably a more natural image, a less enhanced image coming out of the 7 than the 6S. You can always kind of brighten the colors in post, basically in editing. Now just the clarity of the images starts to become evident with the trees in the distance and the leaves of the plants. And here even more so, just the amount of noise, the slightly lower light. You can see in the background I've got a light on in my studio, and you can start to see that noise creeping in on the spikes of the plants, and just the clarity of the weeds that are just there on the hillside next to my studio. And as the light drops down again, we're looking at a plant here, a pine tree, and just the definition of all the needles on the 7 on the left hand side compared to the 6S where there just is no clarity, and again top 7, bottom 6S, just a lot of blurring through the trees, whereas the 7 you get really sharp looking trees. This one, the low light, the light's really dropping out now, and the 6S is just a bad photograph, whereas the 7 is actually still producing what is a reasonable photograph, but the 6S is just a blur.
So there you go guys, it is clear that the iPhone 7 is a huge step up from the iPhone 6s in terms of camera quality. The clarity of those images and video, just a huge step up, and the low light performance, just a massive, massive step forward. There are a couple of things with the iPhone 7. The color richness of the images isn't, they aren't kind of as vivid, but they are probably more accurate, which is important when you take a photograph to have an accurate image. There is also that little glitch in the video where the white balance or exposure seems to be kind of jumping around, very sudden kind of changes, which is something you definitely don't want when you're shooting a video. So I think Apple can fix that with a software update. So I'll kind of keep on top of that in terms of maybe doing a future video if they do improve that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel for future videos on the iPhone 7 and other technology. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and of course, comment down below what are your experiences with the iPhone 7, and if you haven't got an iPhone 7, has this video convinced you to upgrade? I'm Simon from Tech My Life Video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
So let's do an
How much better